It turns out water has enough force to completely remove a person's bikini, both top and bottom. People ask Reddit, what is the best accidental nudity you have seen? When I was living in New Zealand, one night my roommate brought home some guy from the bar and they had sex on the couch. It just so happened that the couch was on the opposite side of the wall from my bed, so I heard it all. But that's besides the point. The next morning I woke up to a text from a different roommate that there was a naked guy on the couch. I casually went to the bathroom to sneak a peek and there he was, in all his glory, passed out on the couch. The roommate who brought him home was nowhere to be found. We later found her curled up on the bathroom floor, also naked, and now they're married. The end. As a kid, I always went to summer camp in a different state, and we would often take multi-day canoe trips around the general area. On one of these trips, after a long day of paddling down a river, the trip leader decided to stop on an island and set up camp for the night. As the day progressed, the sunshine turned to rain and before we knew it, it was a full-on monsoon. As me and a bunch of other boys huddled under a tarp, someone pointed out two people swimming on the other side of the river. We notice it's two guys and a girl and continue to watch. Before we know it, the girl stands up revealing that she is actually completely nude. In fact, all three were skinny dipping. Being teenage boys, we began to yell and wave at them, asking if they would like any s'mores, while taking turns looking through the binoculars. We thought they would be embarrassed, however, they weren't fazed by this, and one of the dudes began to swim over. I will never forget his face as he got closer and realized we were a bunch of little kids. Needless to say, we gave him a s'more. Sort of accidental. When I was in high school I lived with my dad. Our house had a pool and a hot tub and Pops was a randy old hound. He was scooping it to what seemed like all the divorced ladies in my neighborhood. Being single, well off and having a hot tub really greased the wheels. Anyhow, he and his girlfriends weren't exactly incognito and after a few drinks tended to come in and out of the house, where I was, in varying states of undress to use the bathroom, and get refills or snacks. Let's just say that I saw more of many of my friends' moms than was polite to discuss. I guess it's not really accidental because she dropped hints later that it was intentional, but at the time I thought it was. Went on a date with a coworker. While waiting for her to get ready in her living room, I could see her fully nude in the reflection in a mirror on a door. She had a ridiculously awesome figure, too. I used to work in an electronics store. We regularly had promo staff and reps in on the weekends to sell their stuff in store. This particular weekend we had 3 models and promoting some camera or other. Late afternoon I go into the customer collections room where reserved stock is kept to look for an item. As I'm clearly in there looking for something, these 3 girls burst in and start stripping off their branded dresses to change and go home. In shock I say, "Do you want me to go out?" And they're like, "Nah, it's okay." Then some checkout girl comes in and laughs, gasps, and drags me out. Got it. When I was about 6 I was at the ocean with parents. My dad was playing with me in the breaking waves on the beach. I saw a rough wave wash over this young lady a few feet from us and it totally swept her bikini bottom off. I couldn't believe it and no one, including her, seemed to be aware for several long seconds. It was a massive late 1970s bush. I saw it before my dad and pointed and yelled, "Look at the hair." My dad was up to speed quickly and swept me up facing me the other way as a guy apparently with the woman somehow found her bikini before it was lost forever. She was sitting down in the water when he brought them over and said, "You lose something?" I learned a lot that day. Reply: "Oh man, I thought you had said that your dad was the one to yell 'Look at the hair.'" And I was like, "Man, your dad's awesome." When I was working as a PA on a TV show, we filmed an episode at a fashion show. I spent the evening wandering around backstage getting models to sign releases. Most of them were naked or half naked. Best work day of my life. Was working in my fish and chip shop and just across the road is a bunch of terrace houses. The windows upstairs start on the floor but I assumed the girl had no idea. My mom actually pointed it out to me and it was a girl butt naked in front of her window. The guys in the garage around the corner was walking down the street opposite of her window and got an eyeful too. I later learned she was the sister of a guy I went to school with. If you want to support our new channel, please hit the like and subscribe button. We would also love to read some feedback in the comments. Thank you very much. When I was a junior in high school, I had a math teacher that was probably in her late 20s or early 30s. One day near the end of the first semester, she was wearing a dress of sorts. It was in Florida, so it wasn't getting cold at all, and she was trying to reach something off the top shelf near her desk when the two straps holding up her dress just snapped and the entire dress fell to her feet. Sure, she was still wearing panties, but the dress didn't hide bra straps, and well, that was nice. I didn't have her the second semester, but from what I heard, she got in some trouble for wearing inappropriate attire for a teacher and had been suspended for the first month of the semester. Was at an indoor water park waiting in line for the attraction that simulates surfing, Flowrider I think. Well, there was this really cute girl up and she bails face first. Now if you know of these attractions, you know that there's a lot of force behind the water. As it turns out, it is enough force to completely remove a person's bikini, both top and bottom. Must have been really embarrassing for her, but I like the piercings. Not sure if you can say accidentally, but my neighbor used to be a manager for, exotic dancers. One day I'm out in my garden and happened to look up at their back bedroom. That was when I discovered where auditions took place. I got a lot of fresh air from that day on. Around 16 at the time, I left my house after my sister and her two friends came over, one of which is just absolutely banging with an amazing body that I may have thought about once or twice. Anyway, nobody else was home. Forgot something in my room, so I ran back in, but I guess nobody heard me come in. I walked down the hallway to my room and past my sister's doorway that was open. I glance over and my brain locks me into place mid-stride. Jaw hits the floor while it burns the image of her butt naked cupping her breasts. They all look over at me and scream. I can't look away. She runs toward me and closes the door. I ran to my room, took a few minutes to savor what I saw, and left. I was about 10 and we went snorkeling with a group on vacation. This old unattractive woman's breast popped out while she was underwater. She didn't notice. I couldn't stop staring. First real boobs I ever saw. Female friend of mine was getting ready for her sister's wedding. She was sending me snaps of herself asking questions like necklace or no to me and her boyfriend, and she accidentally sent me a picture of her boobs hanging out in the dress she was wearing. Edit, trust me, she did not intend on sending me that pic. Work at a hotel on the beach. Usually, every night before I leave I take a walk around the building, just make sure everything is okay, people are quiet, etc. All of our rooms have balconies, but luckily the way our building is set up you can't see into another balcony from another balcony. Earlier that day I had a newlywed couple checking in. All went normal then. Later that night, did my rounds, and I saw them on their balcony. He's leaning up against a patio chair turned backwards, pants pulled down, and she's sitting on the chair, giving him head. Okay, for all purposes that's technically an evictable offense, but I just remembered they're a newlywed couple, no one else can see them on their balcony the way our building is configured, so I just turned around, walked back inside, and let it be. At least I know their marriage got off to a good start, hopefully it stayed that way. During college, I was drunk at a party that ended up moving to a local bar. One of the hot girls in the class ahead of mine came up to me and this other dude. The other dude, I guess, had a bet with her or something and took her walking up as the perfect time to remind her. He said, "Remember, you still need to flash me for who care what it was." I might be paraphrasing. She gives him an annoyed look and then just flashes the both of us for a good 5 to 10 seconds. Very nice boobs would look again. Walking to school on a soggy morning, saw my art teacher in her minivan changing her clothes. Normally, you can't really see into the side passenger area windows well because they were semi-tinted a deeper color, but it just stopped raining a bit earlier and the sun came through the clouds and shined down on the car, lighting it in the area in general up very bright, and I could see right into the car window. Mind you, my art teacher was 29 at the time, fit and moderately attractive. Full on boobies. I was 14, in 9th grade. Probably one of the best days at school followed thereafter. I was at my friend's beach house when I was 16. He had a really hot sister that was about 20 at the time. We were watching TV in the living room and she comes in to hang out with us wearing a t-shirt and loose-fitting boy shorts. Looked more like boxers, to be honest. She sat near me and put her legs up in such a way that I had a marvelous view of her lady parts through the baggy leg of the shorts. I tried not to stare, but it was pretty cool when I was 16. Handed the Verizon guy my phone to get it turned back on. Opened Safari and first thing that popped up was the best pic of my boobs to date. We both just laughed it off. Thank you for listening to another B-Town Reddit Stories episode. Hit the subscribe button and check out our channel for more stories. Let us know your opinion about this topic in the comments.